To start off this video, I just want to say that the title is not 100% accurate. Ubisoft have not sold Rainbow Six Siege, but instead what they have done is upped the process of selling part of the company. Part of the company that not only covers Rainbow Six Siege, but also other massive IPs such as Assassin's Creed and Far Cry. Now in this video, I'm going to go over what is actually happening, what it means for Ubisoft as a company, and then what it means for Siege specifically, as it is the game that I mainly cover here on this channel. So let's just start off with the information that we know. Now I don't know the full story myself, but what I believe is happening is that Ubisoft as a company are splitting itself up. They are taking their good IPs away from the bad and kind of making a spin-off company, and they are doing this to obviously make themselves look a little bit more attractive to buyers. Instead of spending 5 billion and acquiring all of the good and bad IPs underneath Ubisoft, buyers will be able to buy just the good IPs for a little bit less. So what this means is the games that make them the most money, like Assassin's Creed, like the Rainbow Six franchise, are going to be put into this new company, and then all of the IPs that are failing or have been abandoned for years and just aren't making Ubisoft any money are going to stay where they are. Now Tencent, who are a massive gaming company from China, are interested in acquiring 25 to 50% of those good IPs. So what does this actually mean for Ubisoft? Well, if you guys have been out of the loop, Ubisoft has been a dying company for a very long time. For the longest time I can remember, all of the games they've been making have been flopping, and obviously the process of making these games are not cheap, so when they eventually drop, like Star Wars Outlaws for example, and they don't really make a good return for Ubisoft, it means a lot of money lost. Now on top of this, this also has been impacting their stock price. You may have seen that Ubisoft as a company has dropped off massively over the last few years, and to be honest, I am not surprised. Now if this Tencent acquisition does go through, it means an extra 1 billion of funding for Ubisoft, and this could mean increased budgets for new games and existing games, probably them being able to hire a bigger developer pool, which means more people working on their new and current games, and overall it just means they have a lot more firepower, kind of like how they used to. Now if this money is spent well, this could be a great look for Ubisoft. Now a 25 to 50% share of the company does mean that Tencent could actually have some power in what games they want to do, how they should go about developing these games, and it could actually make a massive impact on how they actually bring out their games. So what does it mean for Siege specifically? Now what I'm expecting to happen is, if this does eventually go through and they get a lot of more budget for stuff like that, I expect them to hire a lot more developers for Siege, which would subsequently mean we should be getting more content for Siege and more frequently. So expect bigger updates more consistently. Each season is not going to be delayed, especially with this kind of co-aligning with the release of Siege X, where most of the developers have been working on this major overhaul for a long time. This means a significant boost to the amount of developers that they actually have available to make content for Siege. For the longest time now, it's felt like Siege has been just drip feeding us at the minimum amount of content possible to keep their game alive, and on top of that they've also been delaying a bunch of seasons, a bunch of key updates that are supposed to be coming out with each roadmap. But the future is looking bright for Ubisoft. The future is looking bright for games like Siege. It could mean a lot longer of a lifespan for Siege and maybe an extra couple of years of support. Now obviously take this entire video with a pinch of salt. As I said, I don't even know the full details yet. This is always going to be early doors talk. There's a chance that Tencent doesn't end up acquiring what they actually want, and even if they do end up acquiring a major share within Ubisoft and even maybe obtaining some IPs like Siege, there's no guarantee that it's actually going to change the amount of updates or the quality of the updates or even the amount of developers working on the game at all. It might just be that they come in as shareholders, take a bit of the profit, and that is it. Maybe they won't take a full hands-on approach to the development. If you guys made it this far, please consider leaving a like on the video, subscribing if you're interested in Siege, and without further ado guys, click the video on screen. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye.